Brooklyn Park police are looking for the gunman responsible for shooting a 12-year-old boy outside the Zanewood Recreation Center Monday night. Reporter Sonia Goins spoke with police and has the latest on the investigation.
Zanewood Recreation Center is a place where young people can come and hang out with their friends in a safe environment. But Monday night, that peace was disrupted by gunfire. Remnants of the shooting can still be seen. Glass from a car window is scattered across the Zanewood Recreation parking lot. Brooklyn Park police were called around 8:20 Monday night after a 12-year-old boy was shot. Officials say he was getting into a car when he was hit.
Officers did locate a 12-year-old boy had been shot through the back. He was rushed to the hospital where he remains in stable condition.
The shooting happened right next to the basketball courts and right under security cameras.
An extensive search was conducted throughout the area. We located across the street where the shooter had been standing in the street and fired 2 rounds at the Zanewood Rec Center into a group of individuals in the parking lot.
Police say they don't think the boy was the intended target. They say the gunman got into some kind of confrontation with older kids who were playing basketball.
I'm very surprised, honestly.
Some residents who live near the area are concerned.
It could have been me. I could have been shot. My son could have been shot, because if the target person wasn't shot, it could have been anybody,
Staff at the recreation center are reaching out to young people who might have witnessed the shooting.
We are making sure that there are spaces and places for young people to get together, to process the events that happened.
What's up?
The recreation center has an outreach program called the Blue Shirt Crew, where members go out into the community to help young people avoid a path of violence.
It's trying to preemptively build relationships and engage with them in spaces that are welcoming and comfortable for them.
Police say they are constantly patrolling the area and will consider providing extra resources during peak hours.
We really got to come together as a community and take this head on because it's getting to be enough.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The 12-year-old boy is at the hospital recovering. He is expected to be okay. Meanwhile, no arrests have been made in this case, but if you have any information, you're asked to call police. A Brooklyn Park apartment complex that's been the subject of numerous tenant complaints could receive millions in federal funds for building and security upgrades. The U.S. House recently approved $4 million in funds for the Huntington Place apartments as part of a larger community project funding package. The money would go to the building's owner, Aon. The funds would help pay for security improvements and updated lobbies as well as ADA compliance. Tenants appeared before the City Council earlier this month to address building conditions that they say continue to deteriorate, including mold issues, broken locks, and gas stove leaks. Brooklyn Park could also get a new trail with those federal funds. The city plans to replace a narrow stretch of sidewalk on the east side of Zane Avenue between 63rd Avenue and Brooklyn Boulevard. In its place, the city will build an 8-foot wide multi-use trail to support both pedestrians and bicyclists, similar to what's in front of the Zanewood Rec Center. The project will also include ADA compliant pedestrian ramps and refreshed crosswalks.
It helps promote people getting out and to move it for both health and then also to get places where jobs and businesses are as well.
Brooklyn Park could also receive $874,000 from the federal government to help fund this project. Construction will likely begin next year. A developer has plans to turn the old Sears Building in Brooklyn Center into a business park. The Sears Building closed in 2018 and was the last remaining store from the former Brookdale Mall. City staff say they have to check on the building daily because of numerous break-ins and people dumping trash there. A proposal from Scannell Properties would turn the building into 2 properties for light industrial and office use. The developer says if everything is approved, construction could begin by the end of the year. However, the Brooklyn Center City Council tabled making a decision until its next meeting. Ukrainian families are settling into Minnesota thanks in part to the efforts of One Plymouth Church. CCX News reporter Sarah Tamer shows us one family's journey to Minnesota from more than 5,000 miles away.
Lubov and Igor Nelha's trek to the U.S. was long and emotional.
For the safety of the children.
Serge Zasdowski, a youth minister with Golgotha Slavic Church in Plymouth, helps translate our interview.
This was very hard to do.
The couple fled Ukraine in February with their 7 children before arriving to Elk River on April 19th.
How do you like Minnesota?
Як вам Міннесота?
Oh, super.
Ranging in ages from 3 to 10, the children quietly take a seat, curious, as our interview begins. At just 32 and 33 years old, the young couple look back at their long journey from their hometown of Березанка.
It was hard because that was the house, that I lived in from birth.
Their journey started in Poland, where they found shelter for a month. They then traveled to Mexico and spent time at a refugee camp before finally arriving in Minnesota.
A lot of worrying, I've never been in airports and, and all of this, I've grown up in a village all my life. The children saw that we were concerned, and so they themselves were concerned, and, they helped out any way they could to look out for one another.
So far, the church has helped 10 families who have fled Ukraine and sought refuge in the state, donating items like furniture and basic necessities.
We will help people get here, and we'll help send financial help. And as a church, that really helps maximize our effectiveness.
War brought them here. Faith keeps them going.
Right now, we're here, and we're counting on God, and He's helping us out, and God will provide.
Our interview ended in song. Lyrics honoring a war-torn Ukraine. Hope someday fighting is replaced with freedom. In Elk River, Sarah Tamer, CCX News.
And finally this segment, a local family's backyard transformed into musical theater. That's the production of Oliver, the latest Bunce backyard production. The first such production took place in Maple Grove in a backyard there in 2007. The productions have grown since then, bringing neighborhoods together. The latest production takes place in a Dayton backyard with upcoming productions on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday starting at 7 p.m. Later this week, CCX News shows you what goes into making these productions happen.